Very good morning to everyone present here, dear sister, teachers, my dear friends and juniors. My name is Lumar Song Timung from 12 Science B, and today I'm giving a speech on a topic that is very commonly heard of, but very rarely practiced, and that is self-development, or we could say self-improvement. Self-development or self-improvement today I will be talking about will be consisting of 4 points. The first one will be what exactly is self-improvement. The second point would be how to start self-improvement. The third would be why it is important. And the fourth is why very few people practice it. Let's move on to the first point, which is the first point, which was what exactly is self-improvement? Self-improvement is a process, or you could say an awakening of a person towards making progress. It is mostly conceived as physical progress, for example, progress that is made like studies, sports, or even skills, extracurricular skills. But most people don't consider the mental aspect of self-improvement. Self-improvement is mostly important when we consider the mental aspect, when we consider the progress that has been made inside our mind. That is mostly what self-improvement is. Now moving on to how we start self-improvement. Self-improvement mainly consists of 3 steps. It is like a ritual. The first part is envisioning. Then comes sacrifice. And then we move on to the hard work. Sacrifice, envisioning, and hard work. The first step towards this ritual we call self-improvement is envisioning. We cannot think of our goals if we do not know what we are going after. We cannot work on them until and unless we know what we are trying to go for. Self-improvement without envisioning is like moving in a deserted island without any sense of direction, without any final destination. And then we come on to sacrifice. Sacrifice is also a very big part of self-improvement. Without sacrifice, we won't be able to move from where we currently are. We must have seen people trying again and again, harder and harder, but they always come back to where they came from. Why? Because they're not sacrificing the things that are important to sacrifice for their goals. They're not sacrificing the things that they are not letting go of. Even the tiniest things can vastly impact our progress in self-improvement. Now, consider our sources of pleasure like junk foods, social media, friends. They tell you to party here and there, especially during exams or before exams or during holidays when you should be studying. There are times when you should spend time with friends, and there are also times when you should spend time for yourself, invest time on yourself. Only then will you make true progress, by making sacrifices. Without sacrifice, without envisioning, we cannot make progress. And then comes the hard work, the third point, hard work. It is obvious, without hard work, we cannot even move forward. If we don't move forward, then how do we expect to go to where we want to be at? We cannot physically or mentally move without hard work. So, these 3 points, envisioning, sacrifice, and hard work, these 3 are the foundational pillars of self-improvement. If you remove any one of them, the foundation shatters. And when the foundation shatters, self-improvement becomes meaningless. Then comes the third point, which is why is self-improvement important? Self-improvement is very crucial in this day and age, in this generation. People are being very lethargic, complacent, and they're not even making real progress that will satisfy them or anyone around them. They often go for this materialistic social media and all that stuff, but later on they will regret it. But we should not be like that. We should learn how to do the hard work. We should learn how to be aware of what is important and what is not important. That is why we must improve ourselves, not just ourselves, but everyone around us. We should not think of just ourselves, but try to take our friends with us, not just for parties, but for self-improvement. Then comes the fourth point, which is, why are people not doing it? The simple reasoning behind it is mindset. Since our childhood, we have been fed a limiting mindset. People keep on telling us that this dream is impossible, no one can achieve it, you cannot achieve it, you're dreaming too big. That small advice, that small sentence, that can completely change our point of view later on in the future. It grows with us, limiting beliefs. If we were to feed our next generation growth mindset instead of limiting mindset, then within the next 4 generations, we will see progress that is far incomparable to what we would have seen when we would have fed them limiting mindset. So we must try to feed our next generation growth mindset. We can do it all together. We must do it. And without unity, obviously we won't be able to achieve anything major, at least not by ourselves. We have to grow, not just as individuals, but as society, as a people, our school, our nation. We have to think of not just ourselves, but everyone around us. That is not just self-improvement anymore, but that is a joint improvement from everyone in this school, everyone in this class, every school that we have in Diffu. We should learn how to be good and how to improve. That is the basis of self-improvement. Thank you for letting me borrow your time.